shalom. Shalom. We're running a little bit late. We will be getting ready to start in about 10 minutes. Um, Pocky, he's going to help me. He's going to help me today. You say hi? Say shalom. Say shalom. You want to hold on to this? All right, my sisters are in the background. They're getting prepared. They will be joining me in just a moment. I got a sleepy baby. But tonight's conversation is going to be about thankfulness. And do we as, yes, tell them, do we as women know how to show our thankfulness? Do we? Do we? Do we? Do we? The babies are always thankful. So, about to excuse the background chatter. We have some hungry babies going on right now. Yes. I believe it's hearing and hearing by. Shalom. You say shalom? You're tired. You're tired. I hope that all of you sisters, this is just a disclaimer. This is primarily and only for the sisters. You men that are in the chat, we will say this again, but the men that are in the chat, you are more than welcome to listen, but please do not comment. This is for sisters only. Ima Bina, shalom. You awake? You say hi? You say hi? Say shalom. Oh, come. Excuse us. We're just having a little me and Pocky moment. Shalom, Sister Kimmy. Shalom, Sister Robinique, wife of Ronnie Rainier. You want to get down? You want to get down? You want to get down? Huh? We will wait another another 5 minutes, and then we will get started. Do you see yourself, Pocky? Do you see yourself? If I can get a sound check, if you are able to hear me, could you just type 10 in the chat? Zion. Oh, honey. Yeah. Oh. We might need a little, persuasion. A little persuasion. Thank you, sisters.
Shalom, everybody. Sister Zion in the background. Baby's been taken care of, but see you soon. Here you go, baby. Thank you.
Shalom, Ms. Oh, I'm sorry if I messed up your name. Shalom, Simple Life, Grateful Wife. I believe that's Sister Angela.
Yes.
We're going to get it down. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 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 Come on. Go see Mama Thing. Aki has left the building. Come on. Hopefully, my sisters can join me in just a moment. Tubby, can you help me really quickly? I need some help pulling this up. Oh, it's baby time. Baby time. Excuse me. So this way you can get mommy and mommy. Mommy and mommy. Zion, do you have your phone?
No, actually, I was gonna have Cubby bring it to me.
Oh. Okay, okay. Well, you see Daddy up there? No. No? Okay, that's fine. All right, sisters, we're gonna get ready to get started. And as I said, and as you can see, this live stream is going to be about thankfulness. Do we understand what thankfulness is, and do we know how to show our thankfulness? Especially to those who are married, I'm speaking a little bit more specific to you. Do we truly know how to show thankfulness? And what does it look like? What does it truly look like when we are being thankful? Are we in any deception, thinking that we are being thankful? And truly, we're not. That's kind of going to be the overall view on tonight's topic of thankfulness. Yeah, doing a little shrinking, doing a little bit. Thank you. Shalom, Sister Atara Ishi, wife of Yohanatan. Y'all gonna have to forgive me with some of these pronunciations of names. I'm gonna need a little work. Oh, yeah, Sister Angela, Zion just wanted me to share in the now been 5 months, actually, tomorrow will make 5 months being here on the rock. And I have lost 42 pounds since being here. Shalom, Sister Kay. So we're working hard. They're putting me to work. Really putting me to work. All right. So as I said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're still working on it. My sister Zion and Sister Rivka, like, you're looking pretty thin because I'm 5'10", so I'm a little on the tall side for a female. There's a lot of work. We still got a lot of work to do because gardens have to be put in. Our master needs us to help lug leaves and sticks and things like that. It's some work. If you want a homestead, it's some work. No lazy business. Yes, Sister Angela. Thank you. So let's get into it. Thankfulness. Do we know what thankfulness is, or to be thankful. Sometimes we speak and we say it as women, sometimes we could talk too much, say a lot of words, but there is no action behind what we're doing. Just like I love you. I love you is not just a statement, it is actually a verb, it is an action word. Just like thankfulness. It is not something we just say, oh, I'm thankful. Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. It is an action. We show our thankfulness, and I will even include appreciation. Um, and sometimes I know I have, and I will use myself. I've been in deception, self-deception, where I'm thinking, oh yeah, well I'm being thankful. I'm being thankful over here and over here and over here, but in these areas, well, I'm still working on it. I'm gonna get there, but in that, not being thankful and appreciative over here, not being able to show my thankfulness, I am just not thankful across the board. Just because you're thankful in one area or two areas does not mean you're thankful across the board. It doesn't work that way. You can't be half in or partially in, especially when you have a covering that is working his tail feathers off. I will say his butt off to make sure you are covered. You have a roof. You have food. You have clothing. Um, if we can't show that appreciation and that thankfulness, that gratefulness for what he is doing in all areas, because that was me, we're not thankful. We are then in self-deception. So we're going to look at what does thankful, what does it really mean to be thankful? It is being grateful. It is a appreciation, a gratefulness, gratitude for whatever is going on. Now, feelings can be subject, but it's a feeling. The one dictionary says. So, in appreciation. Sorry, let me catch up with some of these comments. Yeah, that we, Sister Angela says, or simple life, grateful wife. Thankfulness without gratitude is a sense of entitlement. And that's so true, because then we begin to believe that you owe this to me. You owe me that. It is my right for you to give me this. And really, unless we are coming into a home as virgin, just because and I should say, in a right, in a good attitude, you can come into a home. I'm sure many of you have heard my sister say that just because you're a virgin doesn't mean your attitude is right. So we have to have both things. And even then, we're not entitled, but they have more of an entitlement than those who may come into a home with a child or children, have various different types of issues that now man is going to have to deal with and help to correct. So we can't think to ourselves, well, I should have this. It's my right to have this. I am deserving of whatever it is that husband is giving. Because I've been there not too long ago where the thought of marriage was flawed. And I believed that, oh, well, I'm married now. I should have this, and this. I came into my master's household with some health conditions, and it definitely wasn't going to get better with that self-entitlement attitude that I had. I was telling my sisters, well, I do understand that I'm going to have to submit in order for healing to take place. But I really didn't get it. I truly, really didn't get it. I was being selfish, far from a woman who is supposed to be in the faith and striving to be a wife. I was just wasn't hitting it. And I could say more recently that in the last month, just getting on board and realizing I'm not entitled to anything, I really am being saved, because without a covering, how am I going to make it to the kingdom? Without being washed in the word and getting that understanding. Because really, honestly, and truly, some of you have heard my story. I had a son. My son, he did pass. I thought he was a blessing, but he was my sin. And couldn't see, was having a hard time seeing that Yah was really blessing me. Some of you may be like, well, that's not true. It really is true. And coming to that understanding, starting to look beyond myself, even with the health conditions I had. I have a transplant, a kidney transplant, and that transplant was not doing well. Wasn't doing well. Wasn't doing well at all. And a next sister had said, how do you know that Yah isn't going to use your situation to help a next sister or other sisters? And so my thinking had to change. When my thinking began to change, I started walking it out, showing my master, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for the correction, and understanding correction is love. Now, y'all's going to test all of that. My master, he tests everything as well. But in that, not thinking, hey, I deserve this because now I'm married. Some of you may know what a nephrostomy tube is. The transplanted kidney I had a tube coming out. And it is no longer there. And just getting on board, showing my appreciation, accepting what is, saying I'm going to wait, I trust you, Master, enough to put my life in your hands. However you choose to direct me, I'm going to accept it. My numbers for my kidney started changing, going down. And this is in the transplanting kidney. The tube that was there is no longer there. Everything, that healing, that life that should have been, is being restored, because I had to own my ungratefulness, my entitlement, and change, do that, 180, and start walking and getting in line. So sometimes we think when we're corrected, I will go on that, we have some issues. We don't like to be corrected. But if we can change the way we think and start looking at, it's not something that's supposed to be grievous. There is I believe it's in Proverbs, that when we take correction and we find it to be grievous, we are already out of the way. We're not in line with Yah. We're not in line with our husband, our master. We are far from it. We are deceiving ourselves. So yeah, correction is love. And like I said, for me, I was like, what? This some bull. This is some real bull. Like, I just got here. Why? What? No, no. It's what I needed. What I needed to hear. And I need to learn because I didn't grow up in the truth. I didn't grow up in the way. And I'm thankful. I can be thankful. And that thankfulness looks like, okay, you know what, Lydia, you're jacking up. You're jacking up in this area, this area, this area. You know what? It hurts. It hurts. But how do you walk after that? Do you accept it? Do you then like, okay, you know what? Mm, there's some truth. There's a lot of truth. And what was just said to me, that rebuke, that correction, let me walk it out now. Let me fix what is going on. Um, that is a way to show your thankfulness. But if you got a bitter attitude, your countenance is jacked up all the way to the sky and back. Mm-mm. No, we are not. We're not showing our thankfulness. The other thing to ask yourself is, am I showing my thankfulness where my husband, my master, is at peace, or is he having a hard time? You talking too much? You doing too much? That's something I like to say. Oh, babies, they doing too much. Sorry, you doing too much. Really, you doing too much. But normally it's in a joking manner. But really, truly, ask yourself: is your master at peace? Is he able to focus? Or are you talking too much? Are you, too much opinion, too much of fussing, fighting, which you shouldn't be doing anyways, but, that's a side note. Are you doing too much of that? Are you doing too much of it? Because if you're doing too much of it, he's not at peace. I believe in Sirach, Zion, do you think you can put the verses up for I believe it's Sirach, where it talks about a woman who creates weak hands and feeble knees. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sister Chucker. Um, we do not understand that in our ungratefulness, we begin to tear down our home. We tear it down with our own hands. And there's no way we could be showing our husband, showing the father that we are thankful. Especially when some of us, like myself, am a thrift store edition. Thrift store edition 2.0. That someone saw, Yah saw, to bless me with a master, to bless me with a husband. And in return, I'm going to show, what are they? Show out, cut up. How are we comforting? How are we comforting our husband, our masters? Because that's another way to show our thankfulness. Even, and this is a thing, there are always those questions that come up. Well, he did this, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing all these things, and he's not in the truth. But the book doesn't say he has to be in the truth for you to be obedient. It just says be obedient to your husband. That's a surefire way of showing thankfulness. So there really is no excuse. And if he steps out from the way, guess what? Yah has already given us something that we can do. With our chaste words, we can win him over. We are able to win him over. Thank you, Zion. So when we're truly thankful, we line up with the word. There's no question about it. There's no like, well, maybe wise one builds her house. Thank you, Sister Angela. But truly, ask yourself this. Are you neglecting your husband? Are you neglectful? If he's worked all day and okay, the children, they're running amok. Have you quieted that house down before he's come in? If you're able to, if you're a stay-at-home mother, which, praise Yah, I hope you are, have you prepared an atmosphere that says, you know what, honey, I know you worked all day. I'm going to give you some time to decompress, to take a load off, to just, the house is calm, it's quiet, the children aren't running amok, your food is made. You know what? I'm going to come on over, give me just a moment. Maybe he likes coffee, maybe he likes some tea, maybe he likes spiked tea, like, a little extra flavoring in there. Afterwards, I'm going to rub those feet. I am going to help you to relax. I'm going to quiet my mouth because right now it's not needed. And I keep saying quieting the mouth because when we talk too much, we are in representation of a fool. And our master was going over with us about Zion. I'm going to ask again.
Yes, ma'am.
The one where master said, basically, the fool who's running their mouth deserves blows. It equates to blows. Okay. And we basically make ourselves into a fool. And now, paraphrasing here, Sister Zion is going to put that verse in the chat. But I ask, go search it out. Look at the meaning behind those words. When we speak like a fool, running our mouth, thinking we know so much, that husband, that master has the right to give you some blows. Now, I'm not saying beat you till you got a black eye, or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just referring you to the word. So, think about that. How much talking are you doing? What are you saying? Do you have so much to say that's so important that needs to override your master? Do you disregard your master? He was working outside, he just came in, and he might even be 2 feet away from the faucet. And he's like, hey babe, hey hun, whatever he calls you, can you get me a glass of water? And you turn around, you're like, what? Get it yourself. There's the sink, you 2 feet away, even though you might be at the opposite end of the room. Or maybe he doesn't even ask. He comes in, he's sweating. He's been working. So you see him sweating, you can't get him a rag, you can't get him something pool to drink. Well, he can do it himself. He's fine. He's fine. That's disregarding your master. And that's another way of just showing you're just not grateful. You're not thankful. You do not appreciate what he is doing for you. Oh, yes. Thank you, Sister Diane. Um, thank you, for clarifying that. Just let me tell you something. I done had some good blows, as in rebukes, that I got my tail whooped. Not physically, but spiritually. Got my tail whooped, and I deserved it. Really deserved it. So ask yourself, how can you be thankful for what you have been given if you neglect, you disregard, you fail to look at, to care for your master? How can you? And if you think, once again, that, well, I'm thankful over here and over here, he just got me this new purse. I'm really thankful for that. But when rebukes come, when he's trying to align his household, he's trying to explain and share his vision with you, you don't want to jump on board. There's nothing thankful about that. And if you think you're thankful just because he got you some purse or, some new lipstick, if you wear makeup or whatever it may be, you are deceiving yourself. It's as simple as it can be put. Mm-hmm. The other issue that we sometimes have is we want to be thankful for the things. I'm thankful for, if you have gardens or you grow, a lot of your own food, you produce a lot of your own food. Maybe your master has chickens, he has some sort of cattle, sheep, whatever it may be. He gets you fabric. Oh, I am thankful for, you ask yourself, what are you thankful for? Are you thankful for the things? I'm thankful for these vegetables, these seeds, these whatever it may be. I am thankful for these things. That's nice. That's great, actually. It's great to be thankful for the things. But are you thankful for the work that was put into whatever it may be to get you those things? Are you thankful for the man digging that ground up out there, who knows, 10 hours planting those seeds, harvesting, watering, feeding, going to work, whatever it is that he does to acquire those things for you? Are you thankful just for the things, or are you thankful for the man and the hard work that brought about those things? Do you understand the difference between the two? So these are just areas for us to really consider, and reconsider. Where are you at being thankful, appreciating the covering that Yah has given you? Are you showing him that, oh man, without you, without the word, without you washing me in Yah's word, I can't make it to the kingdom. It is a life or death situation. Or are we too prideful? too arrogant, think we know everything? Do we know how to shut up and just truly, you know what? Let me show my gratefulness, my gratitude. Walking feet. Let me show that. Let me not be halfway in. Let me not be lukewarm. Let me choose to be hot or cold. And that's the challenge. Are you able to think about the position that you're in, what you have been given, how you have been saved? In many cases from your own self, like me, from my own self. And can you turn around being honest first to yourself and then showing that man, that, well, he's more than man, that husband, that master, I owe you everything. Look at yourself. Look at yourself.
Say hi. I'm
trying. Babies, and more babies. Excuse us for a moment.
He's almost done too. Diaper changing the babies.
Oh, diaper change? Okay. Excuse us for our baby time. Oh, Sister Alexis, shalom. Sister Elaine Brock. And I'll go back and read some of these comments. I apologize. But I see this one right in front of me. Sister Elaine, a woman's submission to her husband is a direct reflection of her submission to Yah. I love that, because if you can't show your husband that you are truly thankful, you sure can't show Yah that you're thankful either, because he is that mediator between you and Yah. Let us see. All right, I'm gonna go back, read some comments. I do apologize again. Sister Sky, we are in error to expect perfection in a man that belongs to Yahshua. Love covers a multitude of sin. And Sister Sky, so true. We as women look for perfection. We want to point out, oh, well, look at, he's wrong right there. You see what he did? He's getting on my nerves. He's wrong. Why do I have to listen to him? Look at what he's doing. Oh, and then we think we're going to go to Yah. Like, Yah, I can't listen to him. I can't submit to him, because look at what he's doing. Wait, how are we passing and pointing the finger at the mediator that is in between us and Yah, and then have the thought and the audacity to think, well, somehow we're perfect. Somehow we got it all together, but he don't. So when he get it together, then I'll listen. Don't work like that, sisters. Don't work like that at all. Doesn't matter what he's doing. Y'all work him out. That's just how it works. He will work whatever's going on with him. And if this wonderful, this little member of ours can get it together, then we're doing better. We're doing better, because sometimes it's not just this, it's our actions. It's our countenance. It's how we look. Rolling eyes, sucking teeth, making mouths. That'll do us in as well. Let's see. Sister Sky, teach the children how to reverence their father. Because if we're not doing that, if we are not walking as women, where those that are coming up behind us, yes, Papa, our children, our daughters, guess what's gonna happen? You helping them go to hell too. Yes, Poppy. You're helping them, because guess what? They are a product of their environment. They're a product of their mother or mothers. They need to learn young. We need to get it together so that we are able to teach our daughters how to reverence, how to be grateful, how to be thankful to their father. Because later it's going to roll over to their husbands, to their masters. Sister Kay, in her master's household, she says, we point the children to their dad constantly. Mother Bina, respect and honor always is in the heart and demeanor. I believe they say, out of the mouth does the heart speak. Now, some of us, oh no, some of us are straight deceived anyways. And I've been there, where we're talking out both sides of our mouth. And be first, no, I didn't mean that. I was really just saying this, and we're trying to pacify and make it look nice and pretty, and really it's ugly. Ugly. Let's see. Sister Sky, when you have hope and faith in his vision, you are thankful for the roof that leaks, the floor that freezes, the crop that fails, for they teach you, and the livestock that dies. They teach you too. Yes. And when those things happen, when you have livestock that dies, or something that doesn't come up, you feel it. Just like he feels it, you feel it too. It hurts. It hurts. It's not something that's just like, oh, okay, well, he'll just get more. It's fine. No. It is more to you than he'll just get more. He'll just get more. You feel that pain that is bearing down on him, because you are lining up with the book. You are lining up with what he is doing, his vision, and what he is saying. All right, well, I know my phone went out. Missed a few of these comments. Let's see. Sister Sky, hallelujah, Lydia, for the renewed spirit and you, and a sound testimony of conversion to the ways of your master's household. I thank you, Sister Sky. I thank you for your words. They still weigh heavily on me. They help me to stay in line. Uh, they help me. They really do. Um, and I will say this: when I was acting all sorts of kinds of ways, um, in my emotions, not looking at what I had been given, despite what was going on with me, the sisters that I was blessed with, the children that Yah has blessed me with, my emotions just did not come off and show my gratefulness. It showed my selfishness. And I appreciate you, Sister Sky. I am not sure if they are here, but the sisters at the House of Colette, I appreciate them too. Um, and I will share with you all something that me and my sisters here, which we didn't even realize that we were holding on to the same thing. Um, the House of Colette, their master, and even his wives had shared the same thing. A wife should move on the words of her husband, her master. So she shouldn't be sitting back, chilling, like, yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. I roll my eyes at that because it's so much foolishness in that when we want to delay in responding to or moving on what has been spoken to us.
Delayed obedience.
Yes, delayed obedience is still disobedience. Didn't I just say that? Oh, okay. Sister Zion is behind the camera. So she's just reminding me of something that I had said, that right there. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. It's still ungratefulness. Here is our baby with a mouth full of food. Some spaghetti working.
All right, so I was gonna try to. I can add a little bit. It's hard to get on camera with
Yeah.
video, but I can add a little bit now. Got some stuff resolved. Okay, shalom everybody. This is Sister Zion. We are busy over here, and then the babies and everybody needs mommies. So, Lydia is by herself. Wow. The rest of us has to be on mommy duty and clean up duty. Some things that came up just before the stream that we were not expecting. So y'all have to excuse us and forgive us. But I am able to quickly give also a testimony to this ungratefulness and this lack of thankfulness. So our master's been doing a lot of teaching. You know, we getting ready for Passover, and although you're always supposed to be getting ready for Passover and examining, our master has been examining as well, and also examining us in areas that we don't like to look at ourselves, or we've been having issues or things that should have been resolved or things that we can do better. And he's actually been showing us our lack of gratefulness. And since we couldn't seem to necessarily see it ourselves, he decided to expose it to us. And boy, has he been doing some exposing. And so, you know, and he's been exposing things that we may know to do better, but we don't keep it in our hearts, because when we are tested in the area, then we're not passing, or we're not failing, or we're not being consistent. And so, I mean, I'm gonna be real honest and transparent with y'all. Master's been on me, because he's been exposing things. He's been showing me you can do better, and let me tell you how I know you can do better. Let me show you how I know you can do more than what you're doing. That you are still dealing with a lack of thankfulness and appreciation, because in my mind, and I really do believe inside, that I appreciate my master a lot. But I did not realize I still had entitlement in me. I was still dealing with a level of entitlement, or feeling like maybe there's something that I expect from him automatically. Like, had an expectation for him, to a degree. And he showed it to me. And he was showing to me where I could do better. Like, you think, you've done better because you see this area over here, but let's look over here in this area that you ain't looking at. And I'm gonna tell you, it was rough. This was rough for me. It was a rough week. Just hearing him break down this word and bring the word to life right before our eyes. And we got to sit and hear the word or see the word come be proven true right before our eyes. And I was actually so embarrassed. I've been so embarrassed. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I'm embarrassed because I'm the same one who did videos for YouTube, um, helping other sisters, letting them know where I learned and all those different things. And he was actually able to put before me that even those things, like how you could be doing something and you stop doing them, so you haven't really made the change. You haven't fully finished that obedience. You haven't done it daily and regularly and consistently. And I was ashamed. I was ashamed. And he was showing me that that's called being a hypocrite. That is not becoming of a daughter of Sarah or a daughter of Zion. If you having these, you knew these one day, or you can do them one day, but you cannot consistently do them, or you could fall back them, or you could get in your feelings and your emotions, and then somehow you forget to do them. Like, how do you forget to do? Hold on, baby. How do you forget to do what you are, who you are? And even it's the way he broke it down. I've never really recognized it that way. Like, what? Like, I'm doing every. But when you say, I had like these thoughts, like, wow, like, but he brought the Bible to life that you couldn't fight it. So you just sit there, and either you gonna forbear it or you gonna hear it. And it's gonna grieve you, but it shouldn't grieve you like being grievous. It should grieve you as you should be ashamed of yourself. And that's what I felt this week. Just a literal shame of myself. Like, how did I let this get by me? How did I not know? How did I not see this? Or how did I not work on it as hard? Or if I was working on it, how am I moving so slow? Or why didn't I put the effort into it? And an appreciation, it's also showing the level of how you reverence your husband. So if you're lacking appreciation for your master, for your husband, you're lacking it for Yah. You're not reverencing him. It's a level of disrespect you are showing him, whether you like it, love it, or not. You're not moving in the way that you should go as your husband is directing you. And that's a problem. And then we think, we're a lot more holier than what we are, and we're not. And we're deceiving ourselves. And my master's like, you think it's easy for me to correct you all in these areas, because when I see this sort of behavior and I have to bring this correction and you feel some sort of way, remember, you're just mad at the message, but this is still the word. But do you think it's easy for me, because this is lack of reverence you have for me? And how do you think I feel about that? You think I'm excited? But I'm giving you an opportunity to show you that, like the Bible says, Yah chasten those whom he loves and scourge every son whom he receives. So, for our master to even sit down with us, and he's like, listen, Passover is coming. I'm trying to get y'all ready, and, you can be upset. You can take it how you want to take it. But that's you. If I'm doing this, it's because I'm trying to show you love. I'm trying to show you yourself so you are no longer deceived about who you are or who you say you are. So you are no longer a hypocrite. And so that's what our master has done for us. And I am, like I said, I've been ashamed all week. I'm just like, oh my gosh, yeah, please, oh mercy. And even just going back, so it just let me know that things that I've known I've let go of, or like the Bible talks about how soon Israel forgets. Like, we have a habit of forgetting. Because if you don't practice that regularly, if you don't do it daily the way you're supposed to, if you don't operate in that daily, if you don't keep it in the forefront of your minds daily, to do what you're supposed to do, to know what you're supposed to do, because you will be tested and tried. If you don't do these things daily, you're going to lose it. You're going to be operating in something else. So I just want to share that. And so our master also talked about how and was able to show us biblically how, when we lack appreciation, how we get neglectful. And we were looking at the definition of, neglecting something or neglecting someone. And I'm gonna share this short story. It's gonna be the short version. But earlier this week, or shoot, maybe just a couple days ago, I went to serve my master. And my master has a particular way he is served. And he used certain utensils when he eat. He used certain sauces. We bring everything he needs. And I for me, I know it bothers him even the more so if I do it too, because he said, you should know me by now. And I do, and I get so distracted. So I think I had gotten distracted for one reason or another. The reason don't even matter. But the point that he made was very profound. It hurt my feelings because I realized at that moment, like, something that you think is so small is not very small. And I was really hurt, like, dang, I just disappointed him. I upset him. I just hurt him. I just neglected him and didn't even know. And some people would say, well, that's just a small issue. And it's like, this looks like it's small, but it's bigger because it gets right at the heart of things. It gets right at how we behave. And if I just did it in that area, likely I've done it somewhere else. And I'm going to assure you for sure I know I've done it somewhere else, but likely you've done it somewhere else. And so, anyways, I go to serve him, and I brought his food in containers. And I was really happy. I had his food. I thought I made him a meal that he really liked and everything. And I go to serve him, and then I was off handling other things, children, whatever. And when he was ready to eat, because sometimes when we serve our master, he won't eat right away. He'll be saying, I'm ready, and we bring his food, and he'll sit there until he's really ready. But that's beside the point. He was there, and he was ready. By the time he got ready to eat, he went and put his food, get excited about the meal, and go look and was like, where's my fork and where's my spoon? And I'm like, first of all, that is so basic level. How do you bring food with no fork and no spoon? And I was just sitting there like, I know I took out a fork and a spoon now. Don't tell me I'm really tripping today. Like, what's going on? I had no fork and no spoon there. And then I could feel it in my mind already trying to make excuses. Like, I know I could have. And it's like, no, just be quiet. And I was just sitting there like, did I seriously forget his fork and spoon? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And like, my master has seen that happen before, maybe a month of it. He'll just correct it like, hey, y'all gotta bring my stuff. But after it happens so many times, or just the fact he just like, why is y'all forgetting some basic level stuff? Like, really? You brought me food with no fork and spoons? Like, oh. And I was really tripping because I'm like, I know I grabbed that stuff, so what happened? How did the fork and spoon not make it? Like, and it was just showing, and I was just looking, and I was just thinking on it, like, I was so distracted with so many other things. It's like I came in there, and then so what it looks like to him now is I was so careless and so neglectful. I just came out, here's your food. It almost like, because whatever else was in my mind was more important. I didn't have my 100% focus and attention on him. I was still handling everything else. But that's what we got other people here. There's a reason where you could take time to make sure that he has all that he needs. Then, to make matters worse, I already felt so shamed, and my wonderful sister Lydia here was like, I got it, master, and went and got the fork and spoon. And I'm like, oh man. So I apologized, but it was just to the point, like, wow. And then he gets ready to eat his next part of the meal, and he uses particular sauces. Now, somehow I forgot his sauce too. I'm like, what in the world? So he goes, now where's my sauce? And I'm like, oh man, this is bad. This is real bad. It's bad enough to forget some silverware, but it's real. You even forgot the sauce that goes with the next part of the meal. And I'm like, there's no way I forgot. I bring the sauces now. I don't be forgetting no sauce. I forgot the sauce too. So I brought bunch of food with no silverware and no sauces. And he always eats with sauce. This has been his routine since the day I met him, pretty much. And sometimes he change up on sauces, but he's always had them. And I'm like looking like I brought that sauce. How did I forget anything? What? So I was really wondering why was I so off. And it was really, really bad. And he's like, this is not the first time you've been off like this. You may not do this every time you serve me, but in other areas, you do this. You have done this. You have not been where you're supposed to be. Oh, babies, forgive me, please. Hold on. But and he was just showing me. He said, it's not so much that yes, it's food. We can always go in there and grab a fork and spoon. We can always go back in there and grab a sauce. But he was just proving the point of how watchful we're not, like how we don't pay attention, how we've been neglectful, how we can let things slip our minds so easy and so fast. Like he is showing us that our service is not where it's supposed to be, and our service also don't match our words, because a lot of times we speak our words. I appreciate you, master. You are so awesome, and you are this, and you are that, but then we don't prove it by our action. We will let things get by because we get too comfortable. And so I just wanted to share that even in the small things, sisters. Hold on, honey. Even if in the small things, you can be neglecting your master. In the small things that you're like, that shouldn't even be a big deal, but it is actually. If you get to the heart of it, it is a big deal. And like I said, I've been ashamed. Like, oh my gosh, like, so that's the one that I just did want to share because there are bigger issues behind these things. This is not just happen happenstance. Like there's no reason for me to forget something so simple. And if I forget something so simple when just serving his meal, what else is going on? What else? And that's what he's been exposing with his helpmeets because he says it and he did it. Correction is love. Y'all need to get this because apparently, if this is what you've been calling examination, y'all examining yourselves, and he was straight transparent, then you ain't did a good job. And we were actually very thankful. I do believe, at least at the end of this, as hard as it was to receive some of this correction, we were very grateful, and we're talking amongst ourselves like, dang, if he didn't go to the level he did day after day to do a teaching to show us ourselves, we would have missed some of this stuff because I'm being so honest, I really was not aware that I was still doing certain habits from before. I really wasn't aware that it was to that degree. I thought it was just a little mistake here and there, and that's the problem. We try to call everything a little mistake, and so then you're not as quick to fix them. And you don't put the seriousness that's needed on them because you just keep thinking you made a little mistake. Well, those little mistakes add to big things. And before you know it, it becomes your habit or your way of thinking. Or maybe you're already doing it. And when you get off of it, it takes a while to develop this new way. And then you have to keep it going. If you don't, it's so easy to slide right back into the old you. You knew that old you more than you ever knew the new you because you've been raised that way and been that way for years. And so it's really hard to if you're not careful, if you don't put your due diligence is, you're gonna fall back into that old way of thinking, that old pattern. If you don't hold on to the words that is spoken from Yah through your husband through that book, then you will go back in the old way. You have no other way of thinking. So you have to hold on to um, his words. Um, Shalom. I got a quick break against from some babies, probably just for a little while. But if you don't hold on to that, oh, this is low. But okay, we'll work with it. But if you don't hold on to your master's words, to the words that's in the Bible and what he is teaching you of how to properly serve him and stuff, you will go back into your old thinking patterns. You'll go back into the old way, and that's what our masters were showing us. And then he did an example of doing some of the videos that I have done in the past 2 or 3 years, and was just showing. So how much have you improved since then? And do you even do the stuff you're saying even here? Have you been doing that consistently, regularly? And some of those videos straight up put me to shame. I'm like, what? Like, so then I was doing it, then I just stopped? Like, what? Or I'm on and off with this? What? Like, it was, some of them was so good. Like, one of them was so good, although I was embarrassed. I was like, I'll be re-listening to that tomorrow. And I even told Sister Lydia, I said, don't be worried, I'll be playing that video over to myself. I'm going to hear me talk to me. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to listen to me talk to me. Because, those things that I've spoken of, my master taught me a lot of these things. And he's like, and he's letting me know, like, it's not that I didn't teach you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I do this? So I said, that's why I'll be playing that video back to myself. And I'm going to hear my own words so I can let myself know, you hypocrite. You better fix this. Like, you hypocrite. Because you never know when y'all push your card and like you're done. You never know when your master push your card like, listen, you're not cutting it. And I don't want that at all. So, that's why we got to keep those words close. And Sister Ripka actually started this one amongst the house. And not everyone just started doing it because after we keep seeing ourselves after so long, you start remembering. You're not going to remember the words as good as you think you are just because you think you're so smart that it's just going to be in your brain. We've proven that we don't hold on to things very well. So what Sister Ripka would do is record where Master would teach us a lesson, or even if he just has a deep talk with us, expressing anything, she'd start pushing record. And we'd be writing notes. But I used to be writing notes.
I was the quiet recorder. I don't even show them. Like,
yeah, she is the, I guess, a quiet recorder. And then I was recording sometimes, but I definitely was, if like the phone was too far, I'd be like, well, I'll just write notes this time, or well, I'll just listen this time. But then when Master started showing us more and more of ourselves, recently, I got lined up recordings. I got so many recordings in this phone. I'm like, I'm pushing record, and I'm gonna write notes, because you can still record. Mm-hmm. You can still go back and write notes from that topic, because sometimes you need to focus and pay attention, and it helped me even in that, thinking, okay, well, sometimes I didn't grab something because I wanted to get my undivided attention, but then the words you still forget. You only remember so much of a conversation you done. So the new thing I think everyone's on now, we press record, everybody listening, we press record so we can give our undivided attention. And then even more recently, we're like, let's push these record and write notes. Now we push record and we cleaning kitchens with Master speaking in our ear and re-listening so we can know what he is telling us. Did he give us some sort of correction? Is there something we need to think on? Because sometimes you need something to meditate on throughout the day. And what better way to do is meditate on the words of your Master, of him correcting you and telling you where you improve, so you can have more time to chew on that, what he's saying. And you can hear his words for what they are. And if you don't understand something, but then you're listening to it again, maybe you will catch it that next time, or maybe it'll dawn on you. And if you still have questions, now you have an opportunity to go back and ask him the question in the right context, because you recorded. Yes. Versus you trying to remember what he said and ask questions. He like, that ain't what I said. Or that ain't the context. So it, like I said, thank you, Rivka. But like I said, she started that, and everyone's just been on that, and, it's a very good thing. So if you're so grateful and so appreciative, and you're like, I want to do all this for my Master, but I haven't, I forget or I get busy, because that is a never-ending thing, too. It's like, well, I'm trying to do this, but then I got business over here and things over here, and tend to this and tend to that. And I didn't know I was being neglectful, and just by something so simple as serving his meal has been a shame. And there's been more than that. So it wasn't just that. There's just other things, but that's just an example of something that just happened. That can look so small. So I'm hoping you ladies can identify, are you truly appreciative of your Master? And if you know that you are dealing with some of these things, you may have to evaluate. I may not be as appreciative as I think. I may be lying to myself. I may be deceiving myself. So that way you can identify why are you lacking that appreciation? Where are you entitled? So that means some sort of pride is operating. Even if it's just the pride in the idea of he owes you something. I've been here for him my whole life. I done this and I done that. Because if all of that's there, you're not gonna be able to show appreciation. You're not gonna appreciate it, because you're gonna feel like he didn't give you his due, what was due to you. You're gonna make it about yourself.
And I know for me, I will say these last two things. Is to give you something to think about. When we are unthankful, just altogether, unthankfulness stems from pride. Plain and simple. Stems from pride. So if you find that you have any amount of unthankfulness, you really should start searching yourself and asking, where is that pride hiding that needs to come out and be gotten rid of? On the other side of things, which I did say a little bit about this, thankfulness is the understanding that you have not been left to die. You have been saved. That you have been truly saved by your Master. Thankfulness is not us looking at the things that we just received. Yes, we should be thankful for it, but it is the hard work and effort, time, energy that has been placed to give us whatever thing or whatever it may be. There is where our thankfulness should start. So that's just something to think on. I am steadily walking it out in my thankfulness. because I didn't cry and get all snot-nosed and teary-eyed with Yah to send me, show me who my husband should be. Bring me, help me find him, to just turn around and throw it away. Because if anything, I should have stayed out there. And I'm grateful and thankful that my master, even in my foolishness, even in my pride, even in my selfishness and ungratefulness, my master still, all right, we're going to see. We're going to see, because he tests everything. So we can't just think that, hey, all right, so I was ungrateful and, unthankful here. Now I'm going to jump back in and get everything right. We can do it, but we also need to understand we are going to be tested to make sure that those aren't just vainful words coming out of our mouth. That we are truly walking it out. We are truly expressing our gratitude, our appreciation for what we have.
And too, I was looking at message. That was good, Sister Sky, Master Study. And that's actually what we do. And I was telling my master sometimes too. He would say, "Well, you got me teaching, and even if you don't, you got the word and stuff like that." And we're like, "Well, shoot, now that we learned that we don't want to get off from a different thought process than our masters." My master's like, "Well, I don't keep the word from y'all so y'all can learn the word, but y'all can ask me on what y'all can study and what y'all need to look into." And he's like, the point is, too, to bring the questions to him. So our thing is, instead of us trying to figure out if we know the Bible well enough, we try to go review our notes from Master and review the recordings from Master. And then sometimes we've been sharing recordings because I know I've been hearing around the house, "Oh, my phone wasn't charged. Okay, send me that recording." We're trying to do more of those things. And then if there's a direction or somewhere in the word where we need to review those scriptures, or like, for instance, foolishness. Master's been talking about certain things we're doing that lines up with being a foolish woman, then we can see different things that makes us a fool. Okay. And then we can go study on foolishness and then bring him the questions. So and that's another thing that we do. We're able to bring him the questions right after we've been doing it and break it down. And then he'll go into a more in-depth teaching on that, or help us to have better understanding if we have any further questions. All right, bless y'all. I'll be in the background, but baby duty.
Well,
we're actually about to bring it to a close soon, actually.
We are actually, as if you just heard Sister Zion, we are actually about to wrap it up.
We're doing a short one today.
Yes, we are doing a short one. We still have some things to get done here on the homestead. And there's a lot going on. Baby's just having a party, apparently. And some babies need to be changed because I think they done peed through the stuff because my leg is a little wet. A little bit. So, but I'm thankful for that too. It's all right. But once again, sisters, keep it in the forefront of your mind. Be intentional about it. If you are serious about living this word, you are serious about the position you have been given, be intentional about showing your thankfulness. Don't just give lip service, because that's not doing anything. If you believe that you've been blessed, you have a Yah-fearing man, then be intentional every day to show your appreciation, your thankfulness. If you can point out any area where you have been prideful or you're unthankful, then know that you have some pride to deal with. And talk with your master. Ask him, you know what, master, hubby, whatever you call him, baby, Where am I failing? Where do I need to come up? And understand what comes out of his mouth is him just showing you some love. And by you accepting it, not ready to fuss and fight, but working it out, showing, okay, all right, he's giving me the opportunity to get it right. He's not leaving me to myself to walk in any deception I have. He is showing me some true love. This is something I am continually working in myself and grasping and understanding. When my sisters come, I probably might be a little bit annoying because I come to them now and I'm like, hey, it could be only 3 days. Hey, is there any area you think I need to work on? I go to my master a good bit and ask him the same thing. Master, is there anything I might need to work on? You think I need to come up in? Sometimes he laughs because he's like, dang, this girl is constantly. And I believe it was the other day, I told him, I said, I don't want to get it wrong. I want to be in line. I want to get it right. I want to be of value to you. I don't want to give you lip service. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Master. I appreciate it. I don't want to do all that. I want to be able to show him I appreciate everything you do for me. I appreciate you taking the chance on investing in me. No, 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 no. All right, give me one. We're still a little on the busy side with babies. All right, come on, come on. You gonna help me close it out? So I'm just asking you and challenging you to do the same. All right, all right. You say bye bye. Say shalom. He said no. He's gonna go do his own thing. So take the time. Look at yourself. Look at where are you walking? Are you walking in line? Do you have pride? What's going on? No, do. Our friend do wants to do whatever he wants to do. So excuse us. We are going to draw this to we are going to draw this to a close. We appreciate you being here with us this evening, discussing and talking about pride. We got to get the boys taken care of. They're doing well. They're just busy tonight. And apparently, we're playing a game right now. So, a serious game. But, sisters, please be blessed. Again, we appreciate you
everybody.
being here with us. I hope you heard my sister in the background saying shalom. And I will say to you all, shalom and blessings to you and your master's household. Live on the side of blessings. Blessings from the Father, blessings from your master, versus disobedience and curses. And with that, have a wonderful and a blessed night. Shalom, shalom. Sister Zion. Girl, heck no. Yeah, we don't. Sorry, everyone. I'm trying to work this. So forgive me. We don't have. Hopefully, no. That's. You'll have to come and help me.